means you've been captured or you're on foreign soil. That's why they have it in the courthouse with the fringe on it. And they have it in a funeral home because now they got you. Because this goes into a spiritual level as well. This is a battle of light and dark, heaven and hell. And they're using advanced technology to enslave us. And the people going out and wearing masks and hexing. I have family who has fucking blocked me. I have friends I've known forever that I don't speak to anymore. And let me make this very clear. I will not waver on my stand to bring heaven on earth and to educate people so that they know what's going on. I won't be silenced, and you can call me any name you want to call me, but I'm a genius, and most people don't understand intelligence the way that I have it, and I don't care if it sounds conceited. I'm here to help. I'm offering information. I'm sharing love. Please accept my offer of love and information. 5G technology is going to kill us. It's going to enslave us. So 5G not only has a detrimental effect on our cells on a molecular level, what it's also going to do more than likely will sterilize an entire generation. So your children will not be able to procreate. The very fact that you put these devices on their laps is causing harm to them beyond your awareness. I know that so many of you are really good people, so please heed this advice. These are psychotronic weapons. The very last thing that this is a cell phone. The very last thing that that's designed for is a cell phone. This is a prison cell. It's like having a prison screw everywhere we go. Do you know when you shut this off, it turns on the microphone? When you shut off your phone, it turns on the microphone. All cameras and all microphones are on in all devices right now. And since I'm on that, let me tell you about the LED lights that most people have in their homes. I do not. An LED light is a Li-Fi router. So we have Wi-Fi routers. So let me just give you an example of my area, and this will give you an idea of the overview that we're saturating ourselves in every day. Across the street from me on a residential building is a cell phone tower disguised as a chimney. Now that cell phone tower is working on an omnipoint, which means it's hitting in directions all the way. Sometimes the cell phone towers only go in one direction, sometimes they go all the way around. This one goes all the way around. So that means it's shooting frequencies in every direction to communicate with another tower, and as it's communicating with another tower, it's going through my divine soul, your divine soul. Cell phone towers over here, mass port over there has an exponential amount on there. On top of that, they have now installed 5G in the north end, and it is up and running. They are turning it up. The magnetron cooling systems are up. And I will give you a side note on that. I have been in communications with Mike Lynch, who is the head of broadband communication here in Boston. I have the prints for every light post in this city. I know that there's transmitters in there, not just from my research, but from the contracts. I have the signed contracts from Newcastle. I have the signed contracts from Verizon. I have the signed contracts from every one of these companies out here installing this kill grid. We're in trouble. We're in real trouble, and people are walking around with a mask on and hating on people like me for spitting truths. I realize it's a programming with a lot of you, and you're never going to break free. The psychological damage that's being done right now through this psyop is a lot of people will never recover, and it hurts in the heart because you're not going to. Some of you are already so far gone that you can't even see the writing on the wall. So the 5G is being installed right now, and Verizon, I believe, is on contract for each person installing them that they have to install 100 magnetrons. They love messing with me. So 100 magnetrons a day they're installing in children's schools. So now this is everything connected. Everything connected. I mean everything connected, because they've been chemtrailing the skies. And they chemtrail the skies with stuff that's called, there's nanoparticulates of metals in there. There's aluminum, barium, strontium, manganese. There's something called morgellons. Everybody has it. Everybody has this bioweapon. My body rejects it. That's why I got on the path I got on, because it took me down really fast. But there's also things called MIMS, or smart dust. We'll go by smart dust. It's the thing. Everybody's been noticing your house has more dust in it lately. Those are computers. Those are little tiny computers. Yeah, it's called smart dust. And what that smart dust does is it gets into our system and on our system. If you look at my hair in the light, you're going to see a whole lot of little colored orbs. That's the nanotechnology that's in our systems now. There isn't a plant or an animal alive that does not have nanotechnology inside of them. This nanotechnology gets into our system. It goes in and it steals the life force from a cell. Once it steals the life force from a cell, it self-duplicates, and it does that over and over and over again. These are self-assembling machines in our body, in our atmosphere, everywhere around us. Well, these devices are now turning us into beacons for this technology. They have already isolated us anywhere we go. We are fully trackable without our prison guards. So these things are connecting us to this, which means that they can control us. This is a sci-fi world. We are not in a world anymore that you think that we're in. The technology they have is 100 years advanced from what we know, from what they've released. This is part of the battle that's going on. So they want everything connected. Well, as everyone's paying attention to the 5G, well, intelligent people are paying attention to the 5G and to what's going on and calling and talking and trying to educate people. One thing that is barely being overlooked is the Li-Fi system. Now, the Li-Fi system operates on LED lights. That means that every LED light has an IP address. Every IP address can communicate with another IP address. So let me give you a little rundown about that LED light that you have in your kitchen or your bathroom. It operates on light waves, and I think it's 224 gigahertz of light waves is the frequency that it transmits data. These LED lights can dim and amplify themselves without you doing anything. They're just not visible in our spectrum of the eyes. So they're transmitting data through these things, which means that they can change the data coming into our optical and into our eyes, right? They can change the data. They can change what we see by changing the light. So these LED lights that are transmitting data, well, what they can do is they can take the information and transmute it into a binary code. Once this information is transmuted into a binary code, it can be then turned into a video or an audio, meaning they can take the LED light and create a video of everything you just did in your home. All things connected. Everything's connected, including us. It also has all of these devices and all of these technologies have something that's called V2K technology. It is called voice to skull technology. So not only can it send a frequency in there to change your thought patterns, change your perspective, it can change you. It also works with what's called an AI virus. And feel free to research any of this stuff. The AI virus is also listed in the lawsuit of the AI organization against Google, Facebook, DeepMind, all of those, for crimes against humanity. We have passed transhumanism as beings, and we are now cyborgs. Legally, we're called cyborgs. Each generation is the next generation. So let me give you an example. So our generation on our phones, right? Next generation, next generation, next generation. Well, we, each generation, are the next generation. Except the younger generation now has more technology in them. A lot more technology in them by way of vaccines. And because they've been programmed by these devices their entire lives, and parents now use them as babysitters. And by the way, TikTok is a Chinese spyware app. Get it out of your kids' hands and get it off your apps. We are in a battle, and this is the black box of Saturn. It's Black Mecca. People don't get it, but this shit is real, and we're approaching quote-unquote holy season, which, you know, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he was God. God is a name never to be spoken. There is a source, and we are all connected to source, but it's not the one that they're telling us, because that's Baal, Moloch. That's why they sacrifice children, because Moloch wants to eat children. So, supposedly, and I really, really am holding a huge light that this is real and going on, that they are rescuing these children. 1 million children a year go missing in the United States, and 8 million children a year go missing worldwide, not including the ones that go missing in national parks. So these children are tortured, They are sodomized, they're sexually abused, and their adrenochrome, they build up the fear in their body to build up the adrenochrome. It's a hormone that our blood releases when we get scared. And I'm going to talk about that with the coronavirus too, because it's really important to know that. But they build it up in the children, and then they drink their blood, and they eat their pineal gland. Oh my God. So, you know, they say the world banking system has collapsed. What if it's the blood banks that really run the world? What if it isn't the money that runs the world and it's the blood banks? And since these vampires can't get a hold of the blood right now, they're having a problem. You know, when Lady Gaga tweets out that be careful of the blood vampires that you drink because it may fill your pores with poison. I am the undead. But people don't pay attention. You don't pay attention. You think everything's a joke. They have to tell us what they're doing on their karmic laws, their Masonic laws. They have to tell us. Because if they tell us and we don't do anything, we consent. We consent to all of this. Don't you get it? So the fear in the coronavirus, what's happening is you can make yourself sick with anything you want to make yourself sick. You don't have genetic cancer. You don't have genetic diabetes. You don't have genetic any disease like that. What you have is a mind virus that's telling you that you're going to get it. And the more you tell your body you're going to get something, the more your body will respond to it and create it. Go look at Bruce Lipton's Biology of Belief. There's tons of information out there. What isn't information is what's coming through mainstream news. What isn't information is this bullshit that they're feeding us, the fucking coronavirus. They're snuffing out every aspect of David Icke's video everywhere. Go watch it. Educate yourself. Educate your mind. What are you waiting for? I'm trying to keep really calm because I know a lot of you don't, or it appears that a lot of you don't really have an overview of what's taking place or what's going on. But I'll tell you, a lot of you are kind of dumbasses. You're sitting at home with the face mask on, waiting for the government to tell you what to do. And guess what? They're the ones doing it. They put fluoride in the water to kill our eye, right? To calcify it. There's chlorine in the water. There's pesticides in the food. There's GMO in the non-food that we eat. And you're waiting for these people to save us? Really? I got some arsenic. You want that too? What is it? What is it saying? The same people that sell the panic sell the pill. We have been enslaved for a long time, and this is called the Great Awakening. You have a choice to wake up or not. There's a shift coming, an energetic shift. There's so much happening that is beyond this level, this plane. But I'm trying to educate on this level and this plane because maybe if we open eyes here, then we can get people to reconnect back into a spiritual world and to one another and to nature and to the world. Because this place kind of sucks right now. Everybody only cares about themselves. And parents, I know you think you're doing the right thing, but you are fucking your kids up right now. You are fucking your kids up right now. Teaching them apathy, to be petrified of people, to be scared of stuff. It is not good. That's a psychological warfare. Everything they do is to break us. Tell me where and when they've ever done anything to help us. They're having the elderly sign, do not resuscitate. They're tricking them when they go in the hospital to sign, do not resuscitate. That's why the elderly are dying. They're inducing them. They're putting into fucking comas. They're making them sick. They're doing the test. They're bringing it up and signing things, do not resuscitate. And according to the people who do the eugenics, they're the first ones to go. So why aren't we protecting them? We're letting our elders sit at home by themselves, scared? This is the world that we live in? This is who we've become, or some of you? We don't have a big window of opportunity here to change things. We're grounded, remember? We've been grounded for wanting to just live a beautiful life and just be us, but that's taken away. The world we know is never coming back. Never coming back. They want to go to a cashless society, right? And if you haven't researched Skynet or e-Estonia, I recommend that you spend a little time and investigate that because that's what's coming. That means all of your medical records, everything in your lifetime is going to be on one little card that you have to walk around on to prove that you're okay to walk around. This is the world you want to live in? This is what you're cheering for? We're in trouble. We're in really big trouble. They've declared war against us, in case you haven't noticed. You see, the conditioning of people is happening at such a rapid rate, and people are like, oh, it's not so bad to wait in line at a supermarket. This isn't so bad. And I repeated this story last night. I'll repeat this again. It's the same as training an elephant. When they train an elephant, they take this big, powerful, sentient being and tie it up with a chain. Elephant can't break free. It struggles. It can't get free. And eventually, over time, they've conditioned the elephant enough to know that he can't break free from the chain, so they replace the chain with a rope and tie it to a stick. And the elephant has been so conditioned to think that it can't get away that it never tries to escape again. That's the mentality of Americans. You are the elephant tied to a rope and a stick, and you don't even know it. The children are at their greatest risk right now. And as adults, who are we not to make sure that their future is bright? Who are we not to make sure that what is going on is really what they're saying? They're falsifying records. Anyone who goes into the hospital right now, it doesn't matter what you go in for, it's getting diagnosed as COVID-19. Anyone who dies right now, it doesn't matter what you die from, it's going on your death certificate as COVID-19. That's not a problem? You're not alarmed over that? Not concerning? Once 5G is fully installed, it won't matter because you won't be in control of your thoughts anymore. If you have not detoxed and you don't know what detoxing heavy metals is, I would recommend that you look into detoxing heavy metals. Oops, sorry about that. I recommend you look into detoxing heavy metals, because the more metals that are in your body, the more you're going to fry. They're frequencies. Put aluminum in the microwave and see what happens. We're drowning in radiation. We're being controlled every turn, every fucking turn. People are putting on masks. I have masks all over my home, all over. Do you know why? Because I protect myself from the nanoparticulates they spray in the air every day. The aluminum, barium, strontium, manganese, morgellons, smart dust. I've been talking about this for years and no one cares and no one wants to put on a mask. But your programming tells you, be scared, hurry up, be scared. And people are at home with your fucking do-it-yourself masks. First of all, they don't work. They have to be a certain fabric. They have to filter out certain nanos. You can't just put on any old mask and think it's going to work in a stage of advanced technology. We're dealing with nanoparticulates. They could have 1 million of them on a pinhead. When you look out your window sometimes in the sunlight, and all of a sudden in the sunlight you see that little dust twinkling, that's smart dust. Those are computers. Go watch the David Icke video. Please open your mind. Please start educating others, because we're in the middle of World War III. It's called silent weapons for quiet wars. Vaccines are bogus. The amount of mercury that's a thermosol that's in a vaccine is unbelievable. I did one of my radio shows about this, and I spent a lot of time researching it because I know how important this topic is. And let me tell you, the vaccines don't contain anything good. In fact, I think it is, to give you an idea of measurements on the thermosol, 1 part per billion is 1 drop in an Olympic-sized pool. 2 part per billion is what they put in our toxic water, our dead water that we drink. 50,000 parts per billion are in the vaccines. Brand new healthy baby, right? Just came out. Healthy, vibrant. Not no more. You just put a whole bunch of metals in the body and nanotechnology. This child is now trackable and controllable. I mean, I really don't think it's a coincidence that today's generation has more apathy than empathy. They are the next generation, of course. The AI wants your consciousness. It wants to be you. It's the devil. I don't know how to explain it to people who haven't been studying or aware. But these devices, It's like letting the devil in your house every fucking time you open that door, man. Every time. He wants you. He wants your soul. He wants your consciousness. They torture and eat children. They torture and eat children. They torture and eat children, and no one talks about it, and you sit back and ignore it. They're going to start releasing information about what's going on. I don't know if that, I mean, like I said, I'll hold that light bright for that they come and rescue these children. Believe me, I will. But I haven't seen anything. I've just seen these pictures here and there pop up. That's it, just pictures. Another story, lead me along some more. So far over this outbreak, you know, how many stories have changed now? So we went when the COVID didn't work, that didn't work, and then they switched to something, and they just keep changing it because they just keep rolling the psychological things going and going. Most people can't even talk about what epidemic was last month or 2 months ago because we're so inundated with this bullshit all the time. You're being poisoned. You are poisoned. You have nanotechnology in your brain setting up right now and self-duplicating itself, controlling you. You're not in control the way that you think that you are. You're not. Patent 6506148B2. 6506148B2. You should look it up. It shows how your TV and these devices control our nervous systems. They alter us. That's just one. That's just one patent. Out of thousands. Hundreds of thousands designed against us. More gallons, as some people call it. Everybody has it. Infection rate is 100%. Just lays dormant in most people. Me? Not so much. My body rejects it. The fibers that are in Morgellons can't be found in any database anywhere in the world. They're carbon nanofibers in our system that cannot be identified in any database anywhere in the world. Go watch Harold Kautzvella Woodborough Basis lecture. It talks about smart dust. It talks about black goo. It talks about the chemtrails, and it talks about this technology. These sci-fi movies are telling you the truth. It's programming. They're soft conditioning you for what's to come, for what they're going to do. Go take a look at Altered Carbon. If you really want to know what's coming this way and what this technology is going to go take a look and watch a series of Altered Carbon. They can take your consciousness and download it into another body right now. 5G is going to kill us. It's going to fucking kill us. I don't know how else to say it. I'm not going to say it in a nicer way. It is going to kill us. It is going to open up our DNA. It is going to allow in anything that should in our system that shouldn't be there. It is stealing oxygen. I know people are short of breath. I see them. I got to work out more. No! You got to wake up to the fact we're drowning in radiation. We have an obligation to ourselves and to the children to make sure that what they're telling us is what they're telling us. And if you can't prove it, then what they're telling us isn't right. We have nothing to go on except fear. But I can prove everything I just talked about. Everything I just talked about. There's a reason why my other account was deleted. There's a reason why my accounts are censored. And the same reason that family and friends are blocking me or moving away, it's because your programming is rejecting my light. Real talk, real shit. This is a battle of light and dark, heaven and hell. This is a battle of light and dark, heaven and hell. This is a battle of light and dark, heaven and hell.